Hi everyone, it's Jennifer, and I have another book look for you guys. Matter of fact, I've got 2 books. So let's start with the first one. So the first book I have here is called Stitched in Christ, and it is done by Terry Ann Porter. And this is a knit and crochet Bible study devotional journal. I thought that was a cool book. It was not expensive. I'm going to put the link to the Amazon link for this book and the other book I'm going to show you in the description box below. So, Stitched in Christ. Here is your table of contents. There you go. And this book goes on, and it actually jumps right into it. The Knit and Crochet Bible Study story goes right into it, and it says why you're reading, and it goes into a good foundation, and it gives you, a whole page, a couple of pages of a Bible story, and then it gives you what you should be studying for your week in prayer, and then it gives you 2 full pages to write on, which is very nice, and then it goes right into the next for studying for that week. These are considered for a week at a time for prayer. And as you go through the book and you do all your studying and everything, and I wanted to point out that the studies are related to crochet or knitting, which I do like. I'm going to give you an example. Like this study is called Check Your Gauge. So they relate them back to crochet and knitting. Like the details. When they title them, they relate them back to crochet and knitting, like stash, your orange stash and things. I like that. They talk about I-cord, I like the fact that this one relates it all back to crochet and knitting. And then, in the back of the book, you have the Colors of Salvation Afghan Lapghan, and there's 2 patterns. There is a knit pattern and a crochet pattern, and they tell you all the supplies that you'll need. They tell you what the colors in the Afghan will represent, and they're real good about that. They give you the list of supplies, what they're going to represent. And then the patterns are knitting on one page and crochet on the other page. And it goes through like that for the whole Afghan. And then you seam them both up the same way, which is nice. And then they tell you how to finish both of them up. And then, of course, there is an afterword in the book and all about the author. So this is a very nice book. It is not very large. But it is a very nice book, and it is relatively inexpensive. It is less than $10. But it is good for both knitters and crocheters. And if you happen to do both, you could do both blankets. And it works out really well if you're looking for a devotional. This next book is geared just for knitters. And it is called Biblical Bits for Knitwits. It is by Summer Mungle and Vicki Bedford. It is available on Amazon. It is a little more pricey than our other book. And it is knitting the story of God's love for you. It is a much larger book, as you can see. I happen to like this book. Again, it is in black and white. You do have the introduction in the beginning. I was trying to get to the... here is your table of contents, if you'd like to read that. I know a lot of people are interested in the table of contents. It doesn't matter that I'm showing you the table of contents. That is available to pre-read on Amazon. So it goes into the introduction, and then it goes right into materials needed for the lessons. And these lessons are right in the beginning. And I like this book because it shows you how to put together your Afghan and what your afghan will look like in black and white. And I really like that. I like that a lot. Now this is knitting, and it goes right into the lesson. And every lesson features a square in black and white. It features a square for your blanket. I'm sorry. This book is in black and white. It is not in color. Your lesson, you have study questions right there. And they are quite a few pages of study questions. 1, 2, 3. You have 3 pages of study questions, which is nice. And then you get your first pattern. And then you go into the next section, which you have, 2 pages of lesson. And then the second one has 2 pages of study questions, and then it has the square. And it's very nice. And this one you can work through weekly or daily, how fast you want to work through it. I like that about this one. I love the fact that it has study questions in it, and it has Bible references. It's very, very nice. And you work the blanket as you do the lesson. The other book isn't like that. You do the lessons and then you do the blanket. So I do like that. And it explains to you why they chose that particular knitting stitch. Like this one is the honeycomb stitch. And they explain to you why they chose that pattern for that square. And I really like that. It is not charted. They are fully explain it to you in written form on how to do the pattern. And then they talk about finishing techniques, and then they give you instructions for a border, and then there is obviously a conclusion to the book. This is a really good book. It gives you steps to peace with God, and I like that. This book is well written. The pattern is very well written. I like this. I made a similar blanket. I have another book similar to this, not this exact book, that is about this size, that I did a cross blanket very similar for my grandson before he was born, and I love it. This book is really good. I recommend it to knitters to do. It is very good if you are on, if you're a Christian and you're on that path. This is a very good book for you. I can't say enough good things about it. I love the fact that they changed the stitches for each different square, and they show you right in the beginning what your blanket will look like. And I really, really love that. They tell you the colors to use. They tell you what it's going to look like, and they help you work through it. So it's really a fantastic book. So there you go. You have Biblical Bits for Knitwits, and you have Stitched in Christ, both available on Amazon, and I will put the links to them down there in the description box. So I hope you're having a good day. Please stay safe, be kind to one another, and as always, happy yarning. Bye now.